Hello, DEO friends, and welcome back to our DSO webinar series. For those who don't know me, I'm Hilda, media lead here at the DEO, and today we have an amazing presentation. But before we begin, some quick housekeeping. Make sure to grab your cup of coffee, or in my case, tea, and your notebook, as some incredible information will be shared today. And if you have any questions during the presentation, whether you're tuning in from our Facebook group or YouTube channel, please comment them down below, and we'd be happy to answer your questions after the presentation. Now, I'd love to introduce our guest, Jon Petrie, Director of Group Business at Patient News, who has over 25 years of marketing experience, 20 of which have been in the dental sector. Jon focuses on helping practice owners achieve and maintain effective multiple practice management. Welcome, Jon. I'll let you take it from here and walk us through your presentation.
Well, thank you so much, Hilda. I'm really excited to be here today. As Hilda said, we are exclusively dental. So everything I'll share with you today is what we've gleaned from working with literally thousands of dentists over our 30-year history, exclusively working in dental. We know that one of the biggest obstacles dental entrepreneurs struggle with is that they want their affiliates to stand out from their competition in their practice area. That's what our zebra image represents. We help dental entrepreneurs stand out and get results. In fact, right now, following the COVID-19 recovery, our clients are ahead of ADA reported average production by 40%. And we're very proud to be a part of our clients' exceptional recovery. There is an incredible opportunity for dental practice growth right now. As members of the DEO, you are already successful business owners, and while many other dental practices have struggled, you are uniquely positioned to take advantage and gain market share. Our clients are very much like DEO members, with average practice production of around 1.8 million. That $1.8 million practice will have around 2,000 active patients or 1,250 households, yet there may be upwards of 50,000 households in your market area. Not only that, but the latest stats indicate that 35 to 50% of the population haven't seen a dentist in the past year. When you approach this abundant opportunity strategically, you can dominate your service area. Now, there are many ways to market your practice, and as a full-service marketing agency that facilitates both offline and online marketing, we manage many of the campaigns you see here. But without factoring in the 9 elements that we are going to discuss today, it's difficult to make informed decisions for consistent results and scalable growth. Before we begin talking about the 9 things that can make or break your marketing results, I want to just start by identifying the different stages of the dental patient journey and how marketing can impact each one of these stages. As indicated on the top right, it all begins with practice awareness. Rather than waiting for patients to find you online, the practice awareness phase proactively reaches out to your target market and builds awareness, not only of where you are located and that you are accepting new patients, but also how the practice is differentiated from others vying for that same audience. This serves as your introduction to the community, so you want to be very careful of the image that you project, what you want your community to know about the practice, and the types of services that you offer. Once patients identify a need, i.e., they may have missing teeth, they may need family appointments, cosmetic options to improve their smile, etc., they often go online to conduct further research, which is this second phase here. For many, this will be considered the first step in the patient journey. But if you've been successful at step 1 and proactively reached out to the community with a practice awareness campaign, a branded search, meaning they are now searching for you, i.e. Petrie Dental, rather than a dentist near me, will help these patients find your practice and make it easier for the prospective patient to schedule an appointment. There is a big difference between passively waiting for patients to find you online and actively reaching out to the community and helping to direct them to your practice through an outreach campaign, such as direct mail or social ads. At this stage, you want your website, social channels, and reviews to communicate a consistent brand that reflects your value proposition to attract the type of patients that you want. The third phase has to be the most underrated aspect of all marketing campaigns, and that's the buying decision and conversion stage. This is what happens when the patient raises their hand and wants to communicate with your practice, i.e. online scheduling, requests for information, and how new patient phone calls are handled at the practice. The experience patients have when they're making a buying decision will have the biggest impact on how successful your marketing campaign is, no matter what the campaign or how much you spend. And I will be showing you actual examples of how big an impact this plays later on in today's presentation. And the final two steps, patient experience and advocacy and practice growth. Well, these two phases set the stage for long-term sustainable growth. There are a multitude of things you can do to ensure that patients have a positive experience, accept treatment, and become loyal advocates that return and refer like-minded friends and family members. So when you bring in the entire patient journey into your strategic plans with a full understanding of how each stage impacts the next, well, that's just a great thing about dentistry. The recurring revenue model works to create a self-perpetuating momentum that propels practice growth. Couple that with what I'm going to be talking about today, and today's forecast has a 100% chance of winning. I know, cheesy. So let's jump into the 9 things that can make or break marketing. Number 1 is goal setting, and this is pretty typical. A typical conversation when working with any reputable marketing agency will be around your goals. Most practices feel that the number 1 priority is more new patients. But when establishing goals for your practice, it's important to benchmark the current state and set realistic goals moving forward. These 2 examples and others throughout today's presentation, by the way, are actual clients that are connected to our marketing performance software called Practice Zebra. You can see that up here. You can clearly see that both practices have a steady flow of new patients, but Practice A, who is averaging over 70 new patients a month, is losing patients out the door faster than they can onboard. Practice B is doing a great job of attracting and keeping patients and are on a fantastic trajectory for success, even though they average 50 new patients as opposed to 70. Do you have a firm understanding of how well you are able to retain patients? Or are you continually climbing uphill, not realizing that you will never grow if losing more new patients than gaining? When putting your plan together, it's also important to recognize elements beyond your control, such as market forces like the dentist to population ratio. You see, when goal setting, we can never assume that one practice is the same as another. This practice is going to have a tougher time simply because of the sheer number of other providers in their area. One dentist for every 463 people. Unless you have a bottomless budget, and I don't know a lot of clients that do, capable of outspending your competition, you'll need to be more creative in how you differentiate yourself in this marketplace. Versus a practice in a location like this, where you'll need only a fraction of the budget to attract a similar number of patients to your practice. Knowing what is happening inside and outside of the practice before you start your marketing could make or break your marketing results. Knowing your dentist to population ratio is just one component of a detailed market analysis we conduct prior to making any marketing recommendations on behalf of our clients. We must remember that no matter how big your DSO or group organization is, dentistry still happens at the local level. Each community will have a different set of circumstances. And so the better we understand who it is that lives in your community and what their buying considerations may be, the better chance we have to develop a marketing plan that reflects those demographics and attracts them to your practice. So who is your ideal patient and where do they live in your community? Tapestry information, drive time analysis, existing patient data, and competition levels all play a part in the potential success of your marketing campaigns. Drilling further into the tapestry information, which is this map on the left, here are two examples. If your market is primarily in a family-oriented community, it may look a lot like this. Here we can see a community with busy working parents, both commuting and in their free time taking one kid to soccer practice and the other to the dance studio. They are well insured and fairly affluent. Moms will likely make the healthcare decision on behalf of their family, and they will place a higher importance on value and care over low-priced offers. Knowing this helps you identify your marketing messaging, extended hours, family savings plans, how easily you manage their insurance claims, and how a wide range of services will work for all members of your family. All of these are messages that will help attract this particular demographic. However, if your practice wants to focus on implants, but it's in an area like this, the marketing program is likely to struggle. If implants are your goal, you'll want to identify where patients like this reside. Retirees who still live active lives, care about their health and appearance, and have the disposable earnings to spend on their health care. Notice, though, that cell phones are used for calls, so little research will be conducted online. Therefore, an educational direct mail piece on implants will likely drive better results over a pay-per-click campaign. Another make or break is understanding where existing patients live, and more importantly, where do a higher percentage of high-value patients live? The example above is a patient geoplot, and the different colors indicate the production range of each patient, from $0 to $16,000 plus a year. In reviewing this data, you can pinpoint where you can draw ideal new patients. Clearly, they have a draw area that's working for them, especially when you see the higher value pockets shown in red down in the bottom right-hand corner. Do you know where your hotspots are? Top patient audiences that the practice already attracts? Those are the areas you want to own. Whether through a PPC campaign or direct mail, you want to identify your primary target area clearly and not simply saturate an entire area. After 30 years in dental marketing, we can tell you, reaching outside your primary draw area rarely works. Unless you have unlimited testing budgets, identifying your core marketing area and concentrate your primary marketing budget to own that market. If you have available budget over and above that, then identify potential niche markets and test there. Otherwise, avoid areas that are just going to be an endless pit of wasted marketing dollars. So, you know where they are and who they are. Now what? The fourth make or break is whether your team is on board and trained and ready to capture new patients when they raise their hand. Here are 3 examples of call data taken from Practice Zebra. The average call answer rate in the industry is 70 to 80%. Everyone on the team should know the value of each new patient call and the importance of new patients to practice growth and their own job growth as well. The front office team has so much control over this make or break metric, and I find it incredible how little effort is given to ensure the front desk team is equipped and able to provide an exceptional new patient experience. Some offices will overzealously schedule active patients and deem new patients to be secondary in importance. But look at these 5 examples that show how much more valuable a new patient is over existing patients. On the left side of each example, we see the number and average production value of existing patients. On the right, we see the number and average value of new patients. In each case, the value of new patients is at least 65% higher than existing patients. New patients contribute more life and production to a growing practice, and all too often we find a disconnect between a busy and overwhelmed front desk team and a leadership team that can't understand why their marketing continues to fail. Many offices are struggling with staffing right now, so answering the phone becomes, oh, it'll just go to voicemail. But most new patients will not leave a message. They'll just call another practice down the street. Okay, Let's do some simple math. If a practice receives 100 new patient inquiries a month, answers the phone at 75% of the time, and converts 55% of those calls answered, that equates to an expected production of over $60,000 if the average new patient value is $1,800. Let's look at another example. If a practice receives the same number of inquiries a month, but answers the phone only 50% of the time and converts 45% of those calls answered, the expected production is reduced to $41,000. That's a difference of almost $250,000 in production lost over the course of 12 months. This could be the single most important metric I share with you today. Can you hear the phone ringing in the background? Consumers receive something like 10,000 ad messages a day. Email, banner ads, digital prompts, commercials, forced ads on streaming. It's endless. As a digital and digital marketing agency, a direct mail agency, we have hundreds of website and paid digital campaigns. And getting to page one is a battle we fight for our clients every day, with amazing success, I do say, but it's competitive and takes a lot of work and investment. The one way to circumvent this and get a leg up on those searching online is by proactively reaching out to your community to market your practice. A strong digital presence, and what I mean by that is website, social channels, pay-per-click, strong reviews, is essential in today's market. But at the end of the day, it's still mostly a passive form of marketing. You are literally waiting for patients to identify a need and go online in a crowded space and find you. That's why you need a proactive marketing campaign to educate, generate interest, and create a need. The one thing I can tell you that isn't oversaturated right now is direct mail. Direct mail has been the #1 driver of new patients for our clients for quite some time. You see, coming out of COVID-19, there is now a renewed focus on health and wellness and an increased awareness of the mouth-body connection. But we are also coming into an age of misinformation. People just don't trust their media sources anymore. There's now increased skepticism and personal disconnection. And as we live more and more on our smartphones and other devices, there's a growing sense of personal disconnection. Dental patients, more than ever, are in need of reassurance, especially those risk-averse patients who have not yet to be seen. How are you keeping them safe? They need accurate information and want a stronger bond and a better relationship with their service providers. And what makes for a great relationship? What's the foundation? Well, whether it's doctor-patient, doctor-team, spouse-spouse, friend-friend, any relationship that you look at, according to psychology today, it's all the same. They want trust. They want honesty. They want communication and transparency. They want respect. Thankfully, they also want a little bit of humor. From a dentistry perspective, we can take these relationship elements, carefully consider them, and incorporate them into our servicing model and marketing messaging. At the end of the day, we have a more complex patient journey to consider, and including a mix of passive marketing, an updated website, great user experience, great reviews, etc., as well as a proactive marketing campaign, reaching out to the community via direct mail and engaging in paid ads on social channels to capture people when they are searching. It all needs to be incorporated. Having or not having the right marketing mix for your practice and area households could make or break your practice results. Another thing that can make or break marketing results is the actual format. Is the practice attracting the right type of patient? Direct mail has proven to drive results because it's tangible, impactful, and memorable, but not all direct mail is the same. Our CEO, Wayne Lavery, recently wrote an article about the difference between advertising and marketing. Marketing is brand building, educational, versus advertising, which is more commodity-based and focuses on a sale. We offer both formats and understand that in 90% of all cases studied, a 4-page educational newsletter will drive a 70% higher return than postcards. Even though we offer postcards, I want to say that. Newsletters work to market your brand. Postcards, although cheaper to print and mail, drive promotional, price-based decisions, which can actually devalue your practice brand over the long term. Instead of the dentist working to educate the consumer about the mouth-body connection, you can become the dental practice known for low-value offers and have a harder time keeping patients because you promote your practice based on a low price point. And again, with 35 to 50% of the population having not seen a dentist in the last year, education is key to improved results. Do you remember this slide off the top? Ask yourself if you want to win more short-term patients, but continually fight an uphill battle to grow your practice, or have sustainable growth, as in the example on the right. Number 7 is a no-brainer. Without closely tracking your results and applying different call tracking numbers to each campaign, you may think one campaign is driving all the activity. And by depending on your front desk team members to ask and determine how they found out about the practice, you'll likely end up with the resolution that everyone found you on Google. No marketing campaign works in isolation, but rather as part of the cohesive whole that supports the patient journey as they work through their buying decisions in the patient journey. We are definitely seeing a trend where people will receive a direct mail newsletter, then go online to view the website, social channels, and reviews in order to validate their decision before booking an appointment. Understanding the relationship between different campaigns, one leading to the next, helps you to clearly realize greater overall success in all of your marketing campaigns. What else is making or breaking your results? There are key metrics to track when reviewing the impact of marketing. We've already discussed the impact of call answer and conversion rates, offer strategy, target market, the number of new patients gained and their value, the number of lost patients, patients scheduled, treatment acceptance rates, the danger of lapsing patients, case acceptance. All of these variables can greatly impact your results over the long term. With our predictive analytics tool, clients can see their existing metrics against industry averages and see what levers they can push or pull to impact production. The example here is a very successful $3.6 million practice, but I'm sorry, they suck on the phone. They convert only 37% of all new patient inquiries. You'll remember the slide I showed before showing the impact of call answer and conversion rates. With our predictive analytics, all we did is move this client's call answer and conversion rate to average, meaning 76% calls answered live and 55% conversion, and look at the difference in increased production, almost $900,000 in increased production over a 12-month period. The point is, we're not parting the seas. Yet this will massively impact, will massively increase average monthly new patient production without spending $1 more on your marketing campaign. These are the types of gaps that will make or break marketing investments. When you have visibility to the entire marketing mix, you have the program cranking on all cylinders. And then it's all about top-line results, production, active patients, and new patient flow. Call conversion rates and answer rates are the two biggest variables, but there are others to consider. Another big one is, why don't patients book after calling? After scoring new patient calls and displaying these metrics in Practice Zebra, we see that the most common reasons are having convenient appointment times available for new patients, and insurance-related questions. Does the front office team know how to convert non-insured patients to a membership plan, or do they need scripting support to help them? Are new patients accepting treatment and generating production levels anticipated, or are they coming in for a low-value offer and not returning? Measure the variables that impact your marketing campaign. Optimize to improve the impact that these variables can have on your marketing plan. And you have then a foolproof recipe for success. Here is a case study published in Dr. Chris Phelps' latest book, The Complete Guide to Dental Marketing, featuring our client, Dr. Travis Campbell, and the impact of his marketing campaign. To his credit, when many practices were curtailing marketing activities, Dr. Campbell decided to implement Practice Zebra and new patient acquisition newsletters at both practice locations. In doing so, he experienced a surge of new patients at both practices. Both practices were hitting it out of the park from the campaign launch, but due to different influencing factors, the second location halted, resulting in an immediate steady decline in new patients. After seeing this decline, both offices are now actively engaged in the program again. The point is, by not allowing enough time to assess return, being inconsistent or hit and miss, by not recognize the value of new patients to production, these inconsistent tendencies will make or break results. I get it. As someone who has worked with hundreds of clients, I understand that a marketing campaign is a big leap of faith and that it is a significant investment for your organization. Here at Patient News, 20% of our so-called new clients are practices that tried us for a short while, didn't give enough time to assess results, had gone and tried something else, and then returned once they realized the value of long-term growth through a fully comprehensive campaign. The opportunity to increase market share is there. Be consistent, stay visible, educate, and you will be successful. Gotta love a fellow Canadian, Jim Carrey. The face here is a little creepy, but I think you get the idea. The team at Patient News would love to work with members of the DEO. Working with successful dentists and emerging groups that want to stand out and grow is the perfect match for us. I hope these 9 things that I identified today that make or break marketing success made sense to you. There are probably another 20 or more that I could delve into, but for now, I hope you were able to take away some good insights from the presentation. My biggest action items for you now would be to benchmark your metrics, take another look at call handling at your practice, and consider your marketing mix against the goals you have for the year. And please take advantage of a free consultation and live demo of Practice Zebra for your practice. You'll have access to your benchmark report, plus we can look at competitors in your market area against your market share. Thank you again for your time today. I look forward to connecting with everyone.
Well, thank you, Jon, for sharing your time and expertise with us today. The 9 key metrics you walked us through will definitely help our DEO members and community in general, not only make impact brand awareness, but increase growth and attract new patients. So appreciate the incredible value that you shared with us. So don't forget to scan the QR code for a free consultation. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and I'll see you next time.